how are you? My name is Mike, MikeStewart.ca, and today I want to talk to you about holdbacks. More often than I'd like, here in Vancouver, sellers don't do what they agreed to do under a contract. Now, one way for a buyer to ensure that the seller does this, or that there's money to do what the seller agrees to do, is to use a holdback. So, what is a holdback? A holdback is when the buyer's lawyer holds back some of the buyer's money that's being paid to a seller for a set period of time for a specific purpose, so that if a seller doesn't do something that they were supposed to do under the contract, i.e. repairs to the property before the deal completes, or a payment to be made after the deal completes, the buyer has the money in their buyer's lawyer's trust account to take care of these issues. Now, what happens is at the end of the holdback, a holdback is always for a set period of time, that money can be released to the seller if the circumstances don't come up for the money to be released to the buyer to do what was agreed under the contract. Now, very often here in Vancouver, you get a buyer who's here in Vancouver, but a seller who is overseas, or may not be the most cooperative person, or may not be negotiating in good faith, and they don't do what they're supposed to. Now, a buyer can sue, but suing somebody is very time-consuming, very expensive, very difficult. A better way to deal with sellers who you as a buyer may be concerned about is to put a holdback into a contract for a specific reason. So, say for example, there may be an assessment coming up on a building for work to be done next year. A buyer can ask for a holdback in that amount for that specific purpose. Or the seller agrees to fix the plumbing system in a property, and it's going to cost $2,000. The buyer's lawyer can hold back $2,000 for a month after the deal completes, so that if the seller doesn't do the work before the completion, okay, the buyer can use the money that's being held by their lawyer to do the work the seller didn't do but agreed to do under the contract. So if you have any questions, comments, or thoughts on holdbacks, I'd love to hear from you. My name is Mike Stewart. Thank you very much for watching. We'll speak to you soon. Thank you very much for watching.